The Broncos are 7-2. Again, I do not believe it. I know they are, and they have an excellent offensive line and a legitimate defense. Withstood the loss of Surtain at least for a week. If I am the last man on, the Broncos aren't actually that good ship, so be it. But I don't believe it. And
you don't believe in Bo Nix. So when I'm watching Broncos games, I'm like, I don't believe in Bo Nix. I'm like, hold on a second. The Broncos are pretty good. I don't even have a formed opinion on Bo Nix. I've just sat next to you for years telling me Bo Nix is not good. I looked at it like, maybe Bo Nix is good. Maybe it's just I'm being informed by someone sitting near me. The Broncos are actually good. So they're at home. They've won 9 in a row. The best home team or the hottest home team in the NFL. Broncos, Colts. And then the Chiefs. Chiefs only won 4. Broncos won 9. Defense. I'm the guy that says defense wins championships. We all like Pat Surtain. Defense is fantastic.
Defense is fantastic.
So if defense wins championships, and they were great at home, and they're going to, they're in first place. All these things are lining up. And then finally it comes down to Bo Nix, who, even if you think he's pretty good.
No, his fourth quarter's been excellent.
Dude's been on fire. So just keep the game close. And then in the fourth quarter, this guy wins the game. And the defense will keep the. I'm like, what the heck? I like the Broncos all of a sudden. So move the Broncos up. You've been tricking me this whole time. And I know it's just a study. It's not your fault.
Listen, and you know what's crazy about that?
What?
I've been sitting next to you just as long as you've been sitting next to me. And never once
you don't think defense
has one of your opinions made me believe something.
Okay,
never
let
one
something
time.
go wrong in Houston. What are you going to be saying?
So, I, before the year on this show, had a very confusing take, if you will, which was I thought the Broncos were going to finish below 500 and miss the playoffs and start 6-2. Because I believed that the second half of their schedule was going to beat them up. Now, part of that math was I thought they wouldn't get to 7-2, they'd lose to Houston. Every week, I watch the Broncos and I'm like, all right, maybe they're going to prove me wrong. And every week I watch the whole game and I'm like, nope, that team stinks, and then they win. And this week and stinks is too strong. I don't think the team stinks because the defense is obviously excellent. Offensive line is really good. But I watched that Texans game, and it's 13-13 against Davis Mills, and I'm not filled with confidence. Then Bo Nix did have his fourth quarter scramble, and they get in field goal range. I will have to, our old friend Mark Schlereth, he has me on his radio show all the time. They make fun of me. They yell at me. They throw pies in my face, metaphorically. We'll see. I think the Broncos are due to have a regression to the mean on this fourth quarter stuff. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
But when is it going to happen? The Chiefs?
Well, obviously.
Okay. They got 2 against the Raiders.
Yeah. No, at this point, they are a huge favorite to make the playoffs. I no longer think, because part of me thinking they were going to have the second half swoon was I thought the 2 Raider games were going to be tough. Turns out those games probably, Geno could get gone, but probably not that tough. But I think they're going to go 0-2 against Kansas City.
He said it. Denver Broncos, they stink. But then he was like, I want to take it back. You know what I find so funny about this? This is Knicks in the fourth quarter. 6-game win streak. 14.3 points per game. 101 total yards per game. 7.2 yards per pass. 9 touchdowns, 0 turnovers, and a 116.6 pass rating, which is insane. Absolutely, positively insane. And we just want to pretend like that's nothing when we constantly want to elevate that with other quarterbacks or other teams. And this is exactly what Nick did with the Kansas City Chiefs last year and Patrick Mahomes. Now, again, anytime you make that comp, people always seem to be so confused. And it's just so funny because only random people are confused by that comp. Whereas Greg Jennings, Tom Brady, Dan Orlovsky, they all understand the comp. Everyone understands that Patrick Mahomes has won Super Bowls, that he has won MVPs, that he is great, that Bo Nix has not achieved what Patrick Mahomes has achieved. Everyone understands that, except for the people that want to gaslight and pretend like we don't know that. Okay? But when you're having the conversation of a team or a quarterback who's elevating in the fourth quarter and maybe not playing as great as you would want them to do, whether you've won Super Bowls in the past or whether you've shown what you could do in the past, it doesn't change the reality of what you're seeing in front of you and what's clearly the individual is capable of doing. And that, in this example, is obviously Bo Nix. Now, again, I've been very clear. I want to see the Broncos play significantly better throughout the course of the game. I want to see Bo Nix and him individually be a better quarterback throughout the course of the game. And I've highlighted some of the things that oh gosh, I can't think of his name right now. Kurt Warner has talked about. Like I've had those takes, so I'm not out here arguing Bo Nix has been an elite top quarterback in the NFL. I'm not saying that. I'm not. Nick argued that last season about Patrick Mahomes when he had more interceptions than touchdowns in his first 7-8 games, whatever the number was. And he said he's been playing excellent. They're undefeated. They're blah 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 blah. And yet, like, you're not offering that same thing to Bo Nix. And again, it has nothing to do with what you did prior. It has nothing to do with that. You either believe the quarterback is playing great or he's not. You don't use what you did in 22 or 2019 or something as your reference point as to whether or not a quarterback is having high quality games. This season, today, has nothing to do with it. When I'm watching a quarterback play today, what they did in 2017, in 2018, in 2020, in 2024, doesn't matter. I'm looking at how you're playing right now. So you got to be consistent in that regard. Got to be consistent. So it's really funny to see. It's really funny to see. And this is what I said in my when I did the full tiers, that the Eagles gave the sport, the Eagles, I've been very firm on this, and I said this going into the Super Bowl, that the what's at stake here is that the Eagles have to save sports talk. That if the Chiefs win the three-peat, it will degrade sports talk because it'll just be, no matter what, they're already saying Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT, all just over a three-peat, which never made sense to me. I was always opposed to that before even the idea that was even possible. And that the conversations were just going to be so degraded because it was just going to be, three-peat, three-peat, Kansas City Chiefs, Kansas City, no one's ever done it, blah, blah, blah. And we could never have any other conversation. If Patrick Mahomes was playing poorly, it was, how dare you ever say anything about Patrick Mahomes? He three-peated. He's got 4 Super Bowls. And it was just, we were just never going to have real conversations. And we saw the reality of that because look what Nick has been forced to do this season. He can't just constantly rely on that. Do you think Patrick Mahomes would ever be anything but at the top of the mountain if it wasn't for, if he three-peated, he wouldn't. And so now we can actually have real conversations. And I said that going into the game. And then when they actually lost, Rich Eisen then came out and said, I think, things have kind of reached back down. We've come back down to earth to having like real sports talking. And I was like, that was my take before this ever even happened. So I was ahead of that. And now the Denver Broncos are given the task to pick up where the Eagles left off. And it's not about the Chiefs individually. It's about the conversations that we force around the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are elite. I think Patrick Mahomes is elite. I've said this many, many, many times that Patrick Mahomes' entire career is a dynasty. Just like for me, Tom Brady's entire career was a dynasty. People try to debate, are the Chiefs a dynasty or not? They're a dynasty. They've been a dynasty since 2018. For me, from 2018 right up to this point still, they are a dynasty. If they don't win the Super Bowl this year, if they don't even make the playoffs this year, but then win a Super Bowl next year or maybe 2 years from now they win a Super Bowl, that whole stretch is still a dynasty from 2018 to 2027 or, whatever the heck it ends up being. That's the way how I view it. But it's about the quality of conversation. That's what I care about more than anything. That's what the entertainment is for me. That's why I love these sports talk shows. It's the quality of conversation. It's not the dropping of the banners. It's not the Stephen A. trolling and wearing a Cowboys hat. I don't find that stuff entertaining. That's me. I know other people do, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I like quality conversation. Like, I am a nerd when it comes to that type of stuff. I love to figure out the logic, dissect it. That's why I do what I do. It's why I'm in the comment section as much as I am. It's why I genuinely read the comments and reply to them. I'm here for the conversation. It's my whole little rant where I say, please subscribe. You know, it helps with the views. And I'm like, and it's not just about having views for the sake of views. It's to have real conversations. It's to make videos that people want to watch, to discuss, to be part of. And so the Broncos have the opportunity here to continue to reinforce that there is a balance in the NFL world, that you can't downplay a 7-2 Denver Broncos team, that you automatically, that you put them, like, this is where Nick has them, right? Like, that's where the Broncos are, levels below everyone else, and they're 7-2. And listen, I'm okay with saying that just because you have a lot of wins doesn't mean you're a great team, or just because you have a bunch of losses doesn't mean you're not a great team. Like, I had the Chiefs at the top when they were winless. After they lost to the Jags, I had been very firm on that. I'm like, I still think the Chiefs are a great team. I still think the Chiefs are a top team. And I'm not out here saying that I think if the Broncos play the Chiefs, Broncos are winning. How dare you disrespect the Broncos? That's not my take at all. Could not be further from my take at all. If anything, I lean towards, I think the Chiefs are going to win, depending on where, if it's home or away, or what the story of the health is and all that type of stuff. And that's why it's up to the Broncos to be like, no, like we have officially turned the corner. Like, I am always the proponent of being like, I'm not trying to always predict or try to put something on you. It's up to the team to show who you are. It's up to the coaching staff. That's why that was my whole rant about the Denver Broncos, where I said you either are or you aren't. That's the foundation of my take, and I shared that on my live, and then I made another Broncos video discussing that, and I'm going to share it again when the Broncos are actually playing the Chiefs. It's like, you either are or you aren't, right? Like, in this moment, you either prove Nick right or you prove him wrong. You either are or you aren't. Are you a top team? Are you still, the Chiefs' little brother right now? Or no, you are. You either are or you aren't. Bo Nix, you either are or you aren't. Sean Payton, you either are or you aren't. Mims, you are or aren't. Franklin, are or aren't. Like, that's what it comes down to. And that's why with the Eagles, they had this great roster, this great team, great coaching staff, Super Bowl. The Chiefs still found ways to beat the Bills, the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Eagles came up just short in that Super Bowl in 22. And they kept saying, man, we were the better team. We were the better team. We just lost that day. And then it was like, okay, you either are or you aren't. And they said, yep, we are. Not only we are, but you don't even know how much we are. That's what they did. That's what they did. And it reset the balance in the sports world. It just did. It absolutely did. Absolutely, positively did. People were willing to finally have real, honest conversations about the Chiefs, about Mahomes, just about football in general, about the Bills, the Ravens, the Eagles, everyone benefits. And the Broncos have the chance to reinforce that. And again, some people are going to watch this, especially Chiefs fans, and they're going to be like, you just want the Chiefs to lose. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. I want to see competitive games. I don't want to see teams constantly running away with the division. I want to see, interesting matchups in Super Bowls and playoff games. Are you kidding me? Like, I want the Broncos to be great, and then I want to see the Chiefs and the Broncos, like an AFC championship game, divisional round, whatever it is. Like, I want to feel that it's like, oh man, this is Mahomes versus Bo Nix, up and coming Bo Nix. Like, I want to see that. I want to see Sean Payton, Andy Reid, chess match. Like, I want to see greatness. That's what I want to see. That's what I sign up for. At the end of the day, it doesn't truly affect my life as much as it does in terms of, well, are the conversations interesting? Because when we have interesting conversations and when we have interesting games to watch, well, then my life becomes a lot more interesting. Because I love sports. I love sports talk. I love the conversations in the comment section. Like, that's ultimately what's mostly important to me when it comes to this type of stuff. And so the Broncos, you either are or you aren't. It's like again, Nick either gets to drop his banners, he either gets to sing and dance and be like, I told you so, or he's got to come up, on Monday, Tuesday, whatever, and be like, Bo Nix outdueled Patrick Mahomes. those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Bo Nix and Denver Broncos? Do you think they are too low? Do you think this is insulting? Do you think it makes sense to not believe in who they are and what they can accomplish? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.